Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Callista Solon, and this is nlcTrans. Tonight I'm here with my dear friend and co-host, Tara Alexander. Renee is not with us again tonight. She's still having car problems. We may see her again in the future, but we'll see. We're trying to get her to get a new car. If you're watching, Renee, you need a new car. Anyway, we actually have some B-roll for you tonight.
You can get her here with cupcakes.
Cupcakes, yes. Yeah. Not my cupcakes. There were somebody else's cupcakes that Renee was pining for. But anyway, sorry, Renee. Anyway, we have a little B-roll for you we're going to get to a little bit later. And in the meantime, we actually have some PSAs and some news to talk about a little bit.
Sure.
And I'm not sure where we wanted to start on that. Did you want to get the PSAs out of the way? Or?
Okay.
Yeah?
We'll do that then.
Okay.
It's actually a number of announcements. We've been a little neglectful to keep you all updated on what's going on. The first one that we have talked about is the effort to get New London Pride underway. They have established some committees, and they're looking for people to participate in them. I'm going to rattle through a couple of them here. Pride is getting ready to offer an array of LGBTQ and allied events in southeastern Connecticut this summer and fall. In fact, committees are beginning to plan now. Please join us at one of our many upcoming meetings. So they're planning to do an art exhibit. So there's an art exhibit committee that's meeting Wednesday, April 24th from 5:30 to 6:30 at the Washington Coffee House. They're planning a gay day at Ocean Beach. And that committee will meet Saturday, April 27th from 11 to noon, Ocean Beach Pavilion, rain or shine. Wear a coat. It's an outside meeting. They're planning to do a concert series as a fundraiser for New London Pride. That committee will meet Monday, April 29th from 7 to 8 in the Washington Coffee House. And then they're also planning a scavenger hunt amazing race fundraiser, and that committee will meet Tuesday, May 14th from 7 to 8 at the Washington Coffee House. We're going to have some information up on our website. We've started a website to sort of track what's going on. You can go to nlpride.com and I'll get this information posted on it so that you can see that. Or you can replay this on VOD and and write down the information.
Very cool.
That's a funny one, but we saw today that at UConn, we were at UConn today, and we saw that UConn is going to be doing a TEDx event in September 21st, 2013. TEDx UConn at Oak Hall from 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Tickets I believe are on sale, and we'll try to bring you more information as we learn it. True Colors, which is the GLBTQ youth services organization here in Connecticut, is doing a 5K run fundraiser on Sunday, May 12th in Wickham Park, Manchester. You can go to their website, ourtruecolors.org. And they have information there. You can register for the True Colors 5K run fundraiser. Two-loop course is a mixture of paved and dirt trails and open field running. Course design is similar to the certified course used for the annual Wickham Invitational. So if you're into running, that's a good fundraiser for a good organization.
Yes.
Our friends over at Alliance for Living are doing a fundraiser Saturday, May 18th, rain or shine, at the Kentford Farm Perennial Gardens and Floral, 297 New London Turnpike, Route 184 in Stonington. Gates open at 9 a.m. It's a gardener's delight. Paintings inspired by the Kentford Farm Gardens and donated by several acclaimed artists. The events include a plant sale, guided perennial tours, the fine art auction and champagne reception. $20 at the gate for tickets. All proceeds go to the Alliance for Living. And then the last one is, I believe this weekend, is the 2013 Transgender Lives Conference, the intersection of health and law, the 7th annual Transgender Lives conference being held this weekend at the Yukon, this Saturday, April 27th, at the Yukon Health Center from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. This all-day conference is geared towards service providers, medical and legal professionals, trans and gender nonconforming community, allies, and all those interested in the health and law issues facing the trans and gender nonconforming communities. General registration price is $25 per person, which includes lunch. $50 for anyone seeking continuing education credits from the National Association of Social Workers. There are also a limited number of scholarships available for those needing assistance with the registration costs. And if you Google Transgender Lives, 2013 Transgender Lives, you can get a link to that. I believe it's off the Connecticut Trans Advocacy website.
Cool. A lot of stuff going on.
And then yes, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of things that you can participate in to help worthy local nonprofits. This one actually comes from family, and it's a cute little PSA that actually is just a joke. But
okay.
It says, and you, if you've ever gotten junk email from your family, I usually don't even read it, but I read this one and it was cute, so I'm passing it along. Do not wash your hair in the shower with shampoo. This is the PSA.
Okay.
Because the shampoo runs all down your body when you shower with it. The shampoo warning goes, printed very clearly on the shampoo label is the warning for extra body and volume. No wonder I've been gaining weight. Well, to change that, get rid of your shampoo and use Dawn dishwashing soap instead, as its label reads, dissolves fat that is otherwise difficult to remove.
Okay.
Problem solved.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, sure. You never know what you're going to get from family. Anyway, I do want to give a little shout out to our friends up at UConn. We were up at UConn today for a panel, and for Annette Maruka's nursing students, and Annette is a sweetheart, and we always like going up to see Annette, and her students are wonderful. So we did a panel up there today for the nursing students, and that was a lot of fun. And hopefully we will get Annette and possibly Jill Espelin on the show at some point in the future. So that'll be nice.
Both professors of psychological nursing.
Yeah. So we do get up to UConn quite a bit, and we were actually having a long discussion today about the new logo.
Yes,
and,
UConn's new marketing campaign was to just call the school UConn and not University of Connecticut, which pretty much everybody had done anyway.
Yeah.
But in their marketing logo and their marketing material, they want to call the school just UConn.
And they changed the dog.
But apparently, along with that, they changed the husky, the image of the husky mascot, and they changed the actual word Yukon from what we had always seen to now it's all capital letters and it's a certain bold font, UCONN.
Yeah.
Whereas we used to say capital U, capital C, ONN. But the
no matter. But it was interesting.
It's cute, and so you can go to the UConn.edu website and see their new logos. The husky dog is much more of a direct front face, sort of more modern looking husky, and not nearly as cute, but certainly much better, I think, for the athletic programs that need that sort of aggressive looking mascot.
Yeah. Anyway, in other news.
What have you got?
Well, I got a thing on France here, which I'm gonna read to you, just because I've got a pile of things here, but we'll get to what we can. We have some B-roll a bit later, but this is about France. France approves marriage equality. I'm just going to quickly go through this for you. Onlookers toasted with glasses of champagne outside the National Assembly as French lawmakers voted to establish legal marriage equality for the country's same-sex couples. Sorry. The lower house voted 331 to 225 in a final vote Tuesday. The Senate approved the bill earlier this month, and the president has already pledged to sign the bill into law. In addition to securing marriage rights for gay and lesbian couples, the bill would also give same-sex couples the right to adopt children. Once the law is finalized, France will be the 9th country in Europe and the 14th in the world, along with New Zealand and Uruguay, which have recently approved bills that are awaiting signature to provide marriage rights to all its citizens. Still, several anti-gay groups, some affiliated with the Catholic Church and other religious or conservative organizations, have declared that they will continue a legal battle by filing a legal challenge with the Constitutional Council, according to CNN. Tensions remain high as continued protests are also planned throughout the country as a reaction to the vote. But anyway, so that's good. France is, they're falling. They're falling like dominoes, I mean, not really, but it's a good thing.
That makes it sound very ominous.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But France has approved and is just apparently awaiting signature for
and New Zealand.
And New Zealand, yeah.
And so one of the things that we have in our B-roll tonight is a video clip of the New Zealand minister giving a speech to the Parliament about his district and how they feel about same-sex marriage in New Zealand.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, very cool. So we're looking forward to that. You've got the Rhode Island thing. I will.
Well, no, I mean I've got a bunch of stuff here, but yeah, in Rhode Island, the state Republican caucus in Rhode Island unanimously endorsed Senate Bill 38, a measure that would legalize same-sex marriage in Rhode Island. They say, we support Senate Bill 38 because it rightfully extends the civil aspects of marriage to all Rhode Islanders while protecting the freedom of religion our state was founded upon. Gay and lesbian couples deserve to be treated equally under the law, and at the same time, churches, synagogues, and mosques in our state must be free to exercise their faith and their sacraments as they see fit. This bill strikes the right balance and should be passed by the Senate. Was sent to the Judiciary Committee, and the State Judiciary Committee today voted 7-4 to forward the marriage bill to the Senate floor for debate. They're expected to take it up tomorrow.
Cool. So a lot of stuff going on. I still have one here about Nevada.
Go for it.
Nevada Senate okays marriage equality. Senator comes out. This is interesting.
That's a good one.
Yeah. The Nevada State Senate voted 12-9 to repeal the statewide constitutional amendment that currently bars same-sex couples from marrying after a floor debate in which Senator Kelvin Atkinson told all of his colleagues that he is gay. I'm black, I'm gay, he said Monday, according to the Las Vegas Sun. I know this is the first time many of you have heard me say that I am a black gay male. Atkinson, who was reportedly very emotional, added that his father, who remarried a woman of another race, would have been barred from doing so earlier in American history.
Yep.
He also argued that establishing marriage equality for same-sex couples would not threaten heterosexual marriages. If this hurts your marriage, then your marriage was in trouble in the first place, he said. So that was really kind of nice. And that was a kind of a happy thing. But it's amazing, some of the stuff that's going on. So some good stuff going on, and that was Nevada.
Well, and we've even seen at least one U.S. Republican senator or representative, I forget which, I think it's representative, come out in support of same-sex marriage when his son came out to him as gay and introduced his boyfriend.
That seems to happen, yeah.
And yet
it's funny how...
Well, and yet we have another one who...
Right.
Who came out and specifically said, this is not a tidal wave of change. My son came out to me as gay, and I think he should be treated equally under the law, but I don't think they should be allowed to marry.
Yeah. And, and his son respected his opinion.
So.
And that's fine. But yeah, it's so there's a lot going on. Which one did you have there?
I have Pat Robertson and My Daughter's Not a Princess.
Oh, I don't have those.
All right, so go ahead.
What did I have? I had this. This is another one, which was kind of funny, and then I've got one on this that you'll like, which you probably have also.
I only have those two.
Oh, okay. But this was about a transgender woman arrested for exposing breasts. And we've sort of gone down this road before, and it's, I'm not advocating this, that you go do this, but it's kind of amusing, and we'll explain why, or I'll try to explain why anyway. But this was, anyway, I'll read this to you. A transgender woman from New York was arrested in Savannah, Georgia last week for allegedly exposing her breasts, reports Savannah's WSAV. But when deputies booked Ashley Del she says a nurse examined her genitals and determined that she was technically a male. As a result, Del was placed in a holding cell in the men's prison ward. Del was alone in various cells in the men's ward for 3 days before family posted her $3,500 bail. She told WSAV that she often felt unsafe and claims that deputies repeatedly referred to her as a thing, brother, and nigga. I'm not sure why some of that, but the thing I sort of get. But I've sort of heard that one before. But anyway, so they were apparently very disrespectful, according to this. I just felt like that I wasn't being treated like a human being, said Del, who was assigned male at birth but has lived as a woman for more than 20 years and legally changed her name in 2002. Okay, so the amusing thing here is that
she got arrested for a crime that she couldn't commit.
That she couldn't commit, exactly. She exposed her breasts and was arrested for that, but if she's technically a male, men can legally
walk around without
their
a shirt
chests.
on, yes.
And so it's like, we've seen this before. It's like, well, if you won't recognize me as a woman,
then I couldn't have committed the crime of exposing my breasts.
I cannot have committed the crime, right? And so it's funny. And I'm not advocating that we all go out there and expose our breasts, but
I don't know. I bet you. No, never mind.
But it's always funny. We've seen this kind of story before, and it's just.
So they arrested a man for exposing his breasts. is what it amounts to.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's make up your mind. What am I?
Yes.
Kind of thing. And so that was interesting. So that will be an ongoing story, I'm sure.
So they obviously perceived her gender expression to be that of female, or they wouldn't have arrested her.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did have one other one here, which and we will keep you posted on this. Like I said, it's just kind of amusing the way.
Arrested as a woman, booked as a guy.
Yeah. It's like crazy.
For a crime that a guy can't commit.
Anyway, this is sorry. The trees are having sex.
Yes, yes.
It's
pollen is
pollen season. It's wreaking havoc with all of us. But anyway, this one was from the National Catholic Reporter. Another Vatican voice backs civil unions for same-sex couples. And I didn't read through this yet, but anyway, I'm just going to quickly read some of this to you. Another veteran Vatican figure has signaled openness to civil recognition of same-sex unions in the wake of similar comments in early February from the Vatican's top official on the family. It's a position also once reportedly seen with favor by the future pope while he was still Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio?
Sounds right.
Bergoglio, in Buenos Aires, Argentina. It's a great name, but a little bit difficult. The latest expression of support for civil recognition as an alternative to gay marriages comes from Archbishop Piero Marini, who served for 18 years as Pope John Paul II's liturgical master of ceremonies. There are many couples that suffer because their civil rights aren't recognized, Marini said. Marini, now 71, is currently the president of the Pontifical Committee for International Eucharistic Congresses. There's a mouthful. He spoke in an interview with the newspaper La Nación in Costa Rica, where the local church wrapped up a Eucharistic Congress Sunday. Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. So there's a lot of stuff like that going on. I'm not going to read you this whole thing, but it's like, it's kind of cool. I mean, that isn't a vote for same-sex marriage, but it's very progressive considering where it's coming from, and so it's sort of, and we've talked about this before. It's sort of a good thing. I think that there's sort of some sense coming into things and some compassion, maybe. So I think it's all very cool.
Well, I'll be happy to balance that.
Okay.
With Pat Robertson and the 700 Club.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
In light of the news coming out of France that they're getting ready to enact national recognition for same-sex marriages, the 83-year-old Christian Broadcasting Network host was discussing the legalization of same-sex marriage in France on an episode of the 700 Club last week when he delved into the issue of history repeating itself. Robertson claims supporters of gay rights are just like supporters of the Illuminati, and they could be to blame for some disastrous repercussions. Now, before going on, I would remind you that the Illuminati's original purpose was to spread equality. They supported equality for all. They supported women's rights way back when, the church would have nothing to do with equality or women's rights. But of course, the victors write the history. And some of our greatest, inventors and thinkers and philosophers were allegedly members of the Illuminati.
Right.
But they're very bad people.
Yeah. And I know that Robertson has sort of claimed that this was all part of the conspiracy for the New World Order.
So the church has blamed the Illuminati for the immense influence on social and culture, and has been tied to a number of conspiracy theories for years. But the name originally referred to the Bavarian Illuminati, a group formed in 1776 during the Age of Enlightenment. Its members supported equality and reason. Some believed that they were rebels who started the French but some believed that they were the rebels who started the French Revolution. The group was officially dismantled in 1784. Unless you believe the conspiracy theories.
Right, yeah.
It has been said, according to Pat Robertson, that those who do not learn the lessons of history are doomed to live them again. If you go back in history to the French Revolution, there was a thrust spurred by the writings of the group called the Illuminati to destroy the family, to destroy the state, to destroy capitalism, and to destroy the church. We have here a debate over same-sex marriage, he added. But is it really just about marriage, or does it go far beyond that, to destroy the traditional family and building a country without God?
Wow.
So that's that's definitely, and honestly, I mean, I think we have to recognize that is one of the fundamental fears that we address with same-sex marriage. Is this notion that, and you hear it time and time again, what's your objection to same-sex marriage? Well, I think children ought to have a mother and a father. I think you don't have a child without a mother and a father. I think that biology pretty much precludes that from happening. You need a sperm and an egg. But more fundamentally, the notion that the primary objection to same-sex marriage is that children need good parents is a complete disconnect from what marriage stands for. Marriage has never, ever, ever in this country been defined as requiring the production of children. It stands as its own entity. We certainly have children without marriage. We have children with marriage. Marriage is not required for children. It may be beneficial in that it provides a more stable, it is more beneficial in that it provides a more stable household typically.
Sure.
And so you end up having better outcomes for kids when there's two parents in a stable home. Now, whether those parents are your biological parents or not, you can have some argument over whether that has any impact. But marriage itself, you think about the marriages and divorces in this country, and what would it mean if the government required you to get divorced because you didn't bear children? It just doesn't make sense when you turn the argument around and say, well, if the point of marriage is children, then why do we allow people to get married and not have kids? But anyway, Pat Robertson is convinced that it's the foothold for a godless, familyless culture.
Wow.
And that's certainly one of the new arguments coming out of the anti-same-sex marriage campaign is that it's an attack. I mean, we've heard it before, an attack on traditional family values. You know, family values, when I was growing up, meant hard work, taking responsibility for your actions, living up to the expectations of that are put, ahead of you, getting your chores done on time, being polite, learning, getting your homework done. Family values.
Have you got your homework done?
No.
Okay.
I'm a bad gay, bisexual, transsexual person. I didn't get my homework done.
Okay. Well, alrighty then.
Sorry. Do you have anything else, or you want to run the video and then we'll come back to it, or?
I think that's all I've got for now.
All right. Well, this is. I wanted to read this, so
Okay.
maybe what we'll do is a quick intro on the video, and then if there's time, I'll get to this.
Okay.
So there's 3 little segments in this video that we pulled down. The first one has to do with gay people and Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay.
It's a good little video. Having been someone who went through Boy Scouts and found it to be a very enlightening, very good, experience, and somebody who would love to be able to give back to Boy Scouts if they would have me, but they won't, I had to bring this clip in.
Okay.
The second clip is the New Zealand MP giving his speech to Parliament.
Cool.
And boy, this guy could get a stand-up hour. He really nails it. And then the third is a 5-minute video. It's a new video by singer-songwriter Ryan Amador called "Define Me," featuring Joe Lampert. The video you'll see the video. I don't want to give that away. 100% of the proceeds from the track will be donated to organizations actively involved with supporting lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender equality. So if you like it, I suggest you go out to any one of the number of sites, look for the song "Donate Me." It's probably $1. I haven't found it myself yet, as we were running late, and buy it, because the proceeds will go to deserving LGBT organizations.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
that's it.
Controversy over homosexuals in the Boy Scouts. I wanted to do what other scouts had done and send back my Eagle Award in protest. But that seemed like a terrible way to end what had otherwise been an incredibly positive part of my life. You see, when I was a kid, I was picked on. I was small and painfully nerdy. I remember one time when I was quite young, this kid, he walked up to me and he shoved my face into his knee and knocked out my front baby tooth. Fortunately, I had great parents, and they enlisted me in Tiger Cubs. I loved it. I met other nerdy kids like me. We camped, sang songs, did crafts. And when I completed Cub Scouts, I joined Boy Scouts. After years of hard work, I earned the highest and most prestigious rank of Eagle Scout. To this day, it's one of my proudest achievements. One of the most memorable and fun experiences I had in Scouts was earning Cinematography Merit Badge.
Boy, this is great soda, isn't it, Jim Bob? We're going to the Scouts! Let's go, right? Let's go!
Of course, at the time, I had no way of knowing that making the hilariously bad movie Attack of the Evil Mutant Scouts on a home camcorder would shape my future so much.
Cut!
Today, I'm a professional filmmaker, and now my videos are intentional comedies. I work in New York City, and I get to direct and produce videos with some of the most talented TV and movie stars. And so when I was asked if I would like to serve as Cinematography Merit Badge Counselor for my old troupe, I jumped at the chance. This would be my opportunity to give back to an organization that had given me so much. But these stories kept on popping up on my Facebook newsfeed. A Cub Scout leader in Ohio was forced to leave because she was a lesbian. An Eagle Scout in California was denied his award because he was gay. My stomach churned when I read these stories. This was the same organization that accepted me when I needed a place. It taught me to help those in need and be accepting of other cultures and beliefs. I mean, just look at this old cover of Boys Life magazine by Norman Rockwell. it definitely suggests accepting diversity. Some argue that gay people have always been banned from Scouts, but I've always assumed that part in the Scout oath about being morally straight had to do with ethics of character, not sexual genetics. I wasn't sure what to do, but these kids, they had nothing to do with the choices of some adult leader at a national level. Plus, I really like these guys. They're smart and funny. They reminded me of me and my friends when we were their age. So I tried to come up with some plans to give the boys just an unforgettable experience. I rented a van, and I drove the kids and their parents to New York City. We went to Times Square, and I pulled some strings and I got a VIP tour of NBC Studios, and they got to watch Saturday Night Live rehearse. Then we all went back to a small studio at Upright Citizens Brigade where I work to learn about cameras and how to use a green screen. I don't subscribe to the notion that certain people should be banned from Boy Scouts, so I invited some filmmakers to stop by, and several of them were gay. Friends who worked for Late Show with David Letterman, The Onion, and UCB, they helped me teach the boys about making movies. There's a few people who I invited that couldn't be there, like Chris Kelly from Saturday Night Live and Dennis O'Hare, an Emmy-nominated actor from American Horror Story and a ton of movies. So they answered the boys' filmmaking questions via video. And then after the boys learned some new skills, they wrote, storyboarded, and directed their own movie.
Action!
An updated version of Attack of the Evil Mutant Scouts. The boys got to use cameras and microphones and lights, dress up in costumes and try on different makeup. And the final video was nothing short of fabulous.
Mr. President, we have a crisis. It's about the Boy Scouts of America. All their normal behavior is completely absent from the situation. I'm pretty scared about it myself.
In a world where good Boy Scouts are suddenly turning evil.
Later, I got an email from the Scoutmaster. One of the boys told him it was the most fun he's ever had as a scout. And the whole thing couldn't have happened without the generous participation of some volunteers who happen to be gay. In May 2013, the Boy Scouts are going to vote on whether to end their ban on homosexual scouts. At this point, they plan to continue their ban on homosexual leaders and volunteers. I didn't want to sit idly by, and instead of sending back my Eagle Award, I decided to send in my paperwork to become a member of the local Boy Scout Council. I hope you'll join me and thousands of others and encourage the Boy Scouts to allow homosexual scouts, leaders, and volunteers. You can sign a petition, contact your local Boy Scout Council, or share this video and spread the message.
Revealed to the Speaker as the call is taken initially. The Honourable Maurice Williamson.
Speaker, I too will be taking a split call with my colleague Jamie Lee Ross, as sort of the young and the vibrant versus the old and the boring. And sir, and members of the House will be forced to choose which one is which, sir. Sir, I want to first of all congratulate Louisa Wall for this bill. And I want to say, sir, that the good news about the years in this Parliament is you learn to deflect all of the dreadful sort of fire and brimstone accusations that are going to happen, sir. I've had a reverend in my local electorate call, the gay onslaught will start the day after this bill is passed. Sir, we're really struggling to know what the gay onslaught will look like. We don't know if it'll come down the Pakuranga Highway as a series of troops, or whether it'll be a gas that flows in over the electorate and locks us all in. I also, sir, had a Catholic priest tell me that I was supporting an unnatural act. I found that quite interesting, coming from someone who's taken an oath of celibacy for his whole life. I always say celibacy. Okay, we'll go with celibacy. Okay, I haven't done it, so I don't know what it's about. I also had a letter telling me I would burn in the fires of hell for eternity, and that was a bad mistake because I've got a degree in physics. I used the thermodynamic laws of physics. I put in my body weight and my humidity and so on. I assumed the furnace to be at 5,000 degrees, and I will last for just on 2.1 seconds. It's hardly eternity. What do you think? And some more disgusting claims about what adoption would be. Well, sir, I've got 3 fantastic adopted kids. I know how good adoption is, and I found some of it just disgraceful. I found some of the bullying tactics really evil. And, sir, I gave up being scared of bullies when I was at primary school. However, a huge amount of the opposition was from moderates, from people who were concerned, who were seriously worried what this might do to the fabric of our society. I respect their concern. I respect their worry. They were worried about what it might do to their families and so on. Let me repeat to them now, sir. All we are doing with this bill is allowing two people who love each other to have that love recognised by way of marriage. That is all we are doing. We are not declaring nuclear war on a foreign state. We are not bringing a virus in that could wipe out our agriculture sector forever. We are allowing two people who love each other to have that recognised. And I can't see what's wrong with that for love nor money, sir. I just cannot. I cannot understand why someone would be opposed. I understand why people don't like what it is that others do. That's fine. We're all in that category. But I give a promise to those people who are opposed to this bill right now. I give you a watertight, guaranteed promise. The sun will still rise tomorrow. Your teenage daughter will still argue back with you as if she knows everything. Your mortgage will not grow. You will not have skin diseases or rashes or toads in your bed, sir. The world will just carry on. So don't make this into a big deal. This is fantastic for the people it affects, but for the rest of us, life will go on. And finally, can I say, sir, one of the messages I had was that this bill was the cause of our drought. This bill was the cause of our drought. Well, if any of you follow my Twitter account, you will see that in the Pakuranga electorate this morning, it was pouring with rain. We have the most enormous big gay rainbow across my electorate. It has to be a sign, sir. It has to be a sign. If you're a believer, it's certainly a sign. And can I finish for all those who are concerned about this with a quote from the Bible? It's Deuteronomy. I thought Deuteronomy was a cat out of cats, but never mind. It's Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 29. Be ye not afraid.
Order, Jamie Lee Ross.
Mr. Speaker, I thank my colleague.
Define me with all your words, then find me a lesson to be learned. You can brand me or burn me, and I won't let it hurt me.
Define me as what I am, and try me as just a simple man. I'm no harm to you, I'm just doing the best I can.
And if I'm defined by what I do, then what am I supposed to call you? The shadow of a broken past you abused.
And if I can stand on my 2 feet, I'll break the wall where we will meet. I'll document our combination for you.
We're starting this party tonight, where people will be undefined and love who they want when the judgment is done, and won't have to hide.
Starting this party right now, where people can shake off their doubts and send out their love as it moves through the crowd, and people can shout
that they love a man,
or they love a woman,
and no one will be judged for love, and I can't be judged for who I am. Define me with broad cliches,
but I won't undergo any hate for a stranger's mistake.
I've struggled through the boundaries of society's needs.
Now I'm not trying to please.
It's free. Define me as God's child.
I'm human and
much mine is yours in the end. So let's unite as friends. And if I can lie in nature's bed without the roses killing me dead, I think the earth has got a point, and we're a moving joint.
And if I can say my prayers at night, I think I'm doing something right. Let's open up a song of safety and carry through the night.
We're starting this party tonight, where people will be undefined and love who they want when the judgment is done, and won't have to hide. We're starting this party right here, where people will shake off their fear, and mass tolerance is replaced with resistance, and everyone cheers that they love a man, or they love a woman, and no one will be judged for love, and I can't be judged for who I am. You love a man.
We're starting this party tonight.
Love a woman.
People will be
And no one will be judged for love, and I can't be judged for who I am. Well, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. I did, certainly, and thank you, Tara, for bringing that to us. That was very cool. I liked that a lot, and all of that actually. It was all very cool and very moving. And I know you talk a lot about the Boy Scouts, so I know that was very near and dear to your heart.
Well, I very much feel the way the Todd Biber did. That it was a really great experience for me. You know, I know some people. I know it's highly dependent upon the troop that you're in, the local leadership. You know, whether they're actually there for the kids or whether it's all top-down run. You know,
Right.
It's supposed to be a youth leadership organization. Do you let the kids learn and fall and skin their knees, or do you take the control away from them? Do you actually do the activities, help them earn the badges and stuff? And but anyway, it's, you know, it was a real good experience for me, and it's really. I understand the roots of the organization. It's really disappointing to see this, as he said in the video, the news that they're considering. It's great that they're considering to let kids who might be gay. I mean, keep in mind, Boy Scouts is 12 to 18, 11 to 18, so it's like prepubescent through puberty.
Yeah.
So a lot of these kids are probably just figuring out what's going on and who they may like. I mean, most adults are still figuring out through their 20s and 30s who they really like.
Yeah.
You know, how many people do you know? Well, I know several people who got married really early, high school sweethearts or just out of high school and whatnot, and it lasted 5 or 7 years. And by the time they're 30, they're divorced and in their next relationship. So, you know, I really think it still takes through your 20s to figure some of that stuff out. And so these kids are just figuring it out. So it's nice that they're considering letting kids who might claim they're gay, they might be gay, but they're just getting to that point in. But it's still really disappointing that, you know, with the lack of volunteers, that you're going to turn away. You're going to turn away potential scout leaders and volunteers who are gay or lesbian or bisexual or transgender or queer because you think the kids might catch it.
Yeah.
You know. And certainly I agreed with Todd Biber in the video that the whole thing of morally straight was, you know, obeying the law kind of thing, that it was, you know, it was your sense of ethics and how you treat your fellow human beings was what morally straight meant. You know, that, you know, if even to go so far as, and I remember we had some talk about it too, if, you know, respecting the person you have sex with, you know, not being the P word.
The P word.
For having a lot of sex.
Oh, promiscuous.
Promiscuous, thank you.
Yes.
Brain fart.
Not that I know anything about that.
No, but I knew you'd remember the word.
Anyway.
You know, anyway, so yeah, that was nice. I liked it. So we have a few minutes. Do you want me to dive into this? Or
yes,
something
please,
else?
go ahead.
All right. This is a little different from what we normally cover. This is an essay written to the Listen to Your Mother reading series. Women in 24 cities across the country participated in the reading series Listen to Your Mother, each in celebration of Mother's Day this year. Will participate, excuse me. The series features local writers reading their personal essays about motherhood in front of live audiences. The following is a piece by Vicki Wright, who will appear in Minneapolis. It says I-N-E, that's a typo, at the Riverview Theater on May 9th. My daughter is not a princess. She hates pink. She doesn't like things that sparkle and has no interest in dresses or skirts, in flowers and lace. She wears dark blue skinny jeans and a teal shirt emblazoned with a Tyrannosaurus Rex and sunglasses playing an electric guitar. She covers her messy short brown hair with a black and gray stocking cap, and her favorite shoes are high tops that are a vibrant mix of black, blue, yellow, and orange. My daughter is a wannabe rock star, and she is often mistaken for a boy. She has always been deliberate in the way she dresses, has always chosen her own clothes, and we have followed her many fashion whims, but she didn't always dress as she does now. Shortly after she turned 5, we were invited to a formal cocktail party, and she chose a white satin dress, the bottom of which was layered in tulle and embroidered with tiny pink flowers. She picked out a pink sweater and patent leather Mary Janes to complete the look. But in the months following the party, her style slowly began to change. She started pairing her skirts with T-shirts and her brother's ties. There was a brief period during which she was fascinated with bow ties. Soon after that, she replaced her skirts with jeans and cargo shorts. On the day of her kindergarten picture, she bounded down the stairs wearing her brother's pink Oxford dress shirt, his black and gray plaid vest, and a pair of black velvet pants. Her smile exuded joy and confidence, and I should have taken that as a sign that we were doing something right. I should have felt proud, but I didn't. I wanted to cry. I wanted to put her in a little pink dress and help her with her tights and buckle her patent leather shoes. I wanted to braid her hair or put it in a colorful barrettes she used to love so much. I wanted her to look like all the other little girls her age. It would be easy for me to appear noble. I could tell you that I didn't want her to have to deal with the experience of feeling different, that I didn't want her to be teased. But I'd be lying. The truth is, I worried what people would think about me. We hear it constantly from the media and politicians. Children of queer parents will turn out to be queer themselves. Children without a mother and a father will become confused about gender. This is the abstract context in which families like mine exist. But it is not just an abstraction. A couple months after the school pictures were taken, the parents from my daughter's class got together for a potluck. The class photos sat on a table, and 28 kids stared out from that picture. Boys in jeans and T-shirts, girls in dresses or pastel-colored pants, and our daughter in her black velvet pants and vest. My partner and I were standing in the kitchen with several parents who were poring over the picture, and one of the mothers pointed to our daughter and laughed. "Did you make her dress like that?" There was only one reason she would imagine that assumption. I tried to breathe evenly and told myself to keep it light. No, I didn't make her dress like that. You know I could never make her do anything. The truth is, Even if I could, I wouldn't. But people don't know that. They don't know me or my partner or our daughter, and assumptions are easy to make. Late at night, when the homework is done and the children have had their baths and they're tucked into their bed and asleep at last, the house falls silent, and I'm alone with my doubts in those moments. I'm not the outspoken advocate. I'm not the feminist. I am just a mother, and I worry. Will they be happy? Will they be loved? Will they be kind and compassionate? I do not have the luxury of simply being a mother. I am, and always will be, a lesbian mother. The truth is, it was easier when my daughter twirled through the world in skirts, when her hair was long and held back from her face. It was easier because I could point to her and say to the world, see, she is just like every other girl. She's not like me. But that's no longer true. One evening, my daughter was talking about a girl at school and said she thinks she's Rapunzel or Cinderella or something. She said it like it was an indictment of the girl's character, and I thought she might want a character with whom she could identify, so I suggested she be more like a prince. She rolled her eyes and she said, Mom, I'm not a prince. Obviously, I'd be the king. Those moments are the ones that matter, the moments that tell me everything I need to know about our endeavors as parents. It's not easy to be a girl in this world. It's not easy to be different, and yet our daughter stubbornly remains true to herself. My daughter is not a princess, and she believes she can be anyone she wants to be. She is happy and loved and kind and compassionate, and that is more than enough.
Oh, that's very nice. Anyway, on that note,
that'll take us right up to our time.
Yeah, we are out of time. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again next week. Bye-bye.